Just to add a little bit to fuel, fire to the fuel here. Rob, can you go to this Jersey story guy? So New Jersey Governor Murphy comes out and says, is this the one him saying it?
Yes.
And then they backtrack, by the way. Go ahead and play this clip, Rob. Go ahead.
Talking about, I don't want to get into too much detail, but there's someone in our broader universe whose immigration status is not yet at the point that they are trying to get it to.
Illegal.
And we said, you know what? Let's have her live at our house above our garage.
Wow.
And good luck to the feds coming in to try to get her.
Oh, my God. But pause it right there. Like, no, go back to the video. I just want to zoom in on something. You act like a tough guy.
You can't sit like that.
Those shoes, the socks, the way you're sitting, dude, that's the way your hands are on your knee. It's like the movement. Like, I don't know. I just think there's a different.
Pat, it's the least of his problems.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm just saying. Let me
just testicles doing in this?
No,
like, where are they?
Let me just read this.
Mashed up in there.
So, by the way, he says this. Then the office backtracks.
Of course.
His claim.
Of course.
Do you have the backtrack claim, Rob? Or
they've released a statement. There's no video to the backtracking.
What is Tom Homan saying? Here?
Yes, this is Tom Homan saying they're going to possibly prosecute Phil Murphy.
Go for it.
Well, I think the governor's pretty foolish saying what he said, because I got note of it, won't let it go, we'll look into it. And if he's knowingly harboring, concealing an illegal alien, that's a violation of Title 8 United States Code 1324. I would seek prosecution, or the secretary would seek prosecution. So maybe he's bluffing. If he's not, we'll deal with that. And as far as suing sanctuary cities, well, get in line, because the Trump administration is going to do that already. Sanctuary cities are sanctuaries for criminals. There's one example, right? If the young sanctuary cities in New York City, if they would have gave us over the killer of Laken Riley when he got arrested in New York City for endangering a child, he would have been in jail, and he would have never killed Laken Riley. Sanctuary cities are responsible for deaths of thousands of young children throughout my career, and we're going to sue them. We're going to hold them. And look, if he's got to go to the Supreme Court, that's what President Trump wanted to do. He will end sanctuary cities.
And by the way, while he's saying this, Rob, do we have a clip of Pam Bondi with sanctuary cities, what she just did that, Chris, you were talking about earlier?
The only clip that I could find was her. This is a dated clip, but this is her talking about ICE arrests in the state of Florida.
Okay, well,
no, she definitely just signed an order that she is going to halt specific funding that is under her purview, obviously, for sanctuary cities pending a review of what they're doing and why they are sanctuary cities. And this is a very intelligent
It's all over the
position.
place, Rob. I just saw it right now.
Yeah. Very intelligent position for her. The way she worded it shows why she was, of course, compared to Matt Gaetz, she was going to be a much easier course of choice. But there's an intelligence to her position. She's not saying it even the way Holman is. She knows, she's a good lawyer, Pam Bondi. She knows why sanctuary cities started. They didn't start as what they are right now. So municipalities were getting jammed up because ICE wasn't funded or staffed in a way to do the job they were supposed to do. So what would happen is you would get these illegal entrants, okay? And you'd be holding them for a really long time because ICE couldn't get it together to come and get them. And these municipalities started getting sued. And they were losing because they were holding people too long. And that was the birth of it. What it has become is an open hostility towards the existing policy. They're going to lose. And you cannot stop, a state can't stop a federal law from being executed. So if the federal law is we're coming to get them, and it is now, then you can't say no. And if you do, you're going to lose your federal funding. You're going to lose in court. And this is a no-brainer, and Bondi is doing it the right way. She's not just doing it blanket across the board. She's going to say, I'm going to look at each one of them. We'll see why they're doing what they're doing, and then we'll proceed.
Didn't Homan invite you to go see some of the ICE raids? What'd you do? Did you take him up?
Yes,
on his
I
offer?
mean, I kind of forced the invitation. I kept saying, I want to go. No, I'm working on it now because what I don't want is what I saw with Dr. Phil, okay? No disrespect to Dr. Phil. That's not what it's about. But I'm not going there as a propagandist for ICE raids. I want to show the reality over time of what they're dealing with, where they're going, what they're getting. And I think it would be really helpful to the American people. And News Nation is willing to invest. And I think there's a bigger production to be done here of allowing transparency. Because what's going to happen is you're going to be hearing stories. Murphy's playing on something that's not a bad game, which is you're also going to sweep up the wrong people. You're going to people who entered here illegally, but they've done everything right since then. And that is not the threat to the country that was being initially articulated.
Right.
That'll happen. But I don't want this to be a one-off every time where an exception is being made the rule. And I think the more transparency there is, the more fair an assessment the American people will have.
Aren't they going after criminals, people who have done
bad
things,
here's
some bad
the thing.
hombres?
Yes, but here's the thing. And this is why they've been a little slow coming out with their numbers. Where they're going to get people, it's not like they're doing what I thought they were going to do, which is the police tell us this is where the MS-13 guys are hanging out. This is where they live. We know where they are. We just don't go after them because it's like a big deal. And and that's what they're doing. They're going to a place and they're getting people who are also there with other illegal entrants. So they're getting like 8 people when they were looking for one specifically.
What do you mean they're there with other?
They're in that house
with other illegals.
They're at that business.
Harboring criminals.
No,
They're illegal themselves.
Yeah.
They're all illegal. Illegals are hanging out with illegals.
Yeah, they live there, they work there, they're hanging out there, whatever it is.
Lo siento, mi amigo.
I
Cuando
know,
vivir
I get
con
it.
tus criminales,
I get it. I
tú
get it.
necesitas vivir.
I get it. But the idea of what the law is pretty clear. The idea of whether everybody is the same within that bucket is not true. For instance, dreamers. I only feel complete compassion for this group of people who have, through no will of their own, have been put in a position where they are not able to succeed or fail on their own merits in this country because of their designation as dreamers. Trump agrees with that.
Yeah.
He was going to do it as a one-off in his first term, and the Republicans wouldn't let him, if you'll remember. Why? Because they had givebacks that they wanted, chain migration and other things. The dreamers should be taken care of and taken out of this equation. And the fact that it's not is just ugly politics.
How do you define dreamer versus legal alien?
Doc has a specific legal definition.
I want to go to the next story.